What's up, guys? What are we doing here? What is life? Life, liberty, pursuit of that which makes you happy. All that fun stuff. How you guys all doing tonight? I'm hoping you guys are all well. I know I am. I was hoping to be further along in my journey, but my day took an unexpected turn, so we get to go jumping around for a while until we get to the black hole. I was hoping to be much closer to the black hole than what I am right now, but alas, it was not to be. But that's alright. I'm back at Odyssey. I'm not sure who all is joining me tonight, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out. Alright. Yeah, I got everything updated the way I want to. Everything rocked and rolled. Ready to go. Prepping shaders. There we are. Now for the enthusiasts out there that are going to say something, I'm sure. I'm honking every system, but I'm not doing anything detailed until I'm on my way back to the bubble. So, where are we? We are here. This is where we're going. That's the bubble, where we are, where we're going. We're not going to be that far from Sagittarius A. We might pop over there to check it out. I'm not sure yet. But we're heading off that direction. This all stemmed from this. A black hole core and collect data. So, famous explorer. They're happy right now. There's 6 of them in there. $41 mil. You know, the fun stuff. And so that's what we're working on this evening. Just lots of jumping. We have 133 jumps to go before we're there. So that'll be probably a couple hours of work. So I think I can get about a jump every 40 seconds or so, including time in hypercruise. Or is this hyperspace? I'm trying to remember what it's called. Hyperspace, yep. So including time in hyperspace, we're about 40 seconds per jump. We're running a Great Python, or a Phantom rather. Which is definitely have some rough edges on paint. Let's check this out a little bit, actually. Yeah, definitely some rough edges on the paint. I'll have to not do anything with that for a while and see how it goes. Wait, is it same underneath as well? Yeah. That's pretty cool, actually, that's even a thing. I like it. I like it a lot. For those of you who found me this last weekend, we're expecting Minecraft. Tuesdays, I play this game. Sundays and Mondays, I am a Minecrafter at the moment. subject to change depending on some other games coming out. But at least one of those 2 days I'll be playing Minecraft. And then I play Elite. I am a massive fan of online games. Hang on a second. I gotta make a message here. That's actually what attracted me highly to Minecraft, was the whole idea of not being shoehorned into anything and kind of being able to do what you want. And not being forced to do anything. Thank you. Did I not set up heat sinks? I did not. Alright, well. That sucks. I was trying to pop a heat sink so I didn't do any damage, but it doesn't appear that I did any damage. Oh, there's glass. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I ended up having to drive and pick up my son today, so I didn't get nearly as close as I wanted to get before stream.
Ah, right. How many more jumps?
120 something, 130.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a couple hours of just jumping. On my way there, all I'm doing is just honking the system and going. I'll do more detailed stuff on the way home. Oh, there we go.
No, I didn't realise. I mean, you've probably already been to a system that does have a black hole. You would have been to Maya, so you would have been there to collect the meta alloys, probably, to unlock the first engineer. Can't remember her name now.
Felicia?
Yeah, that's yeah.
I think so, but I wasn't really paying that close attention to it. I don't think.
Yeah, in the Maya system, which is where you normally get sent to buy the meta alloys from.
Gotcha.
If you look in the system map of that for that system, there's a black hole at Maya. So.
Well, apparently, so I have been to a system of the black hole.
You have, yes. Yeah, probably.
Oh well.
They're interesting. They're to be honest with you as well, the further in you go, as you get further towards the center, the star density picks up,
yeah.
on the star map, on the sky map. Well, obviously what you'll see is that the black hole distorts all of the light and the stars around it. So in actual fact, as you get closer and closer to the center, it becomes much more the black hole becomes much more noticeable, and the effect is much better.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to getting some screenshots of the effect and trying to get my ship lined up with it, because I was looking at the ship just a minute ago, and I'm not accidentally fixing the paint job this time, because the paint job on this thing looks just so cool.
You in your phantom, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
It just looks pitted to hell and scrape back and shiny bare metal and all sorts of fun stuff. See, I just have to go to the advanced area and make sure that I selectively repair stuff.
Yeah, not touch the paintwork, you mean?
Yup.
Yeah, I like doing that. I quite often leave my Explorer craft in particular to have the paintwork wear away. It does look good.
Definitely looks more interesting. Yeah, no, I just, kind of hop on and we'll get this taken care of and all that. Do you see Discord is teasing out they're going to start doing crypto and NFTs and stuff?
No, what are they? In what way?
Apparently you'll be able to connect up for Ethereum and NFTs, I think, as a manager within Discord. Which kind of any time a group decides to go in a direction that's not normally their target area, I get a little bit worried about priorities. When a company spreads itself too thin, it tends to half-ass a bunch of stuff instead of full-assing one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, strange direction.
Somebody made a decent pitch, I guess. Yeah, I think this is close to the furthest I think I've been out from the bubble so far.
Yeah, you were certainly fairly close to that point before, if I recall.
Yeah, the Clockwork places, they weren't terrible. It felt like it took forever to get there, but I also wasn't jumping at 65 light years per jump either. Back then.
From now on, I would imagine, looking at your position, that you'll start to notice the density of the stars.
Oh yeah.
Starts to really increase. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Looking at it through the windscreen, it's pretty dense. Kind of cool looking, actually. I could imagine what that would look like in like real life, being that close to that much density of stars.
They say, don't they, that if we were on a planet like Earth, towards the center of the galaxy, you would be able to read, a book by night, with the amount of stars in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am about 15 light years back from the bubble, or from at least Shinrada. I think if I look at it, it will tell me how far away I am. Oh, it did before, but it won't. It is not now.
You are 15,000, so you're just under 16,000 light years away. 15,961 at the moment. So yeah, you're about to hit. I'm about to hit 16,000.
Nice. Yeah, it's kind of a jump. I figured, yeah, since I'm going to be... I'll have to look at the map again, but I don't think I'm going to be that terribly far from Sagittarius.
I wouldn't have thought so. Not if you've... I mean, looking at the map there, if you've got yourself another 100-odd jumps, then I would have thought you may be only another 50 jumps away. By the time you stop, I would imagine you wouldn't be... you're...
Yeah, probably about between 50 and 70 jumps maybe to Sagittarius.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm 123 from here.
I was going to say, the only thing to keep in mind is that once you really start getting into the heavy dense area, it becomes a little bit more difficult to navigate. All of the stars means it gives the navigation a little bit of a headache. So you often have to just plot plot your route a little bit closer than you would. In other words, you may not be able to directly select Sagittarius A and plot straight to there. You may have to plot a couple of routes before you get to Sagittarius A. Otherwise, the navigation computer gets a bit of a headache.
Yeah, I had to do a relay nav click because it wouldn't let me go all the way out there in one navigation click.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was either too far. I couldn't remember what the distance was, so I kind of picked a spot about halfway between and targeted that and just start flying out there until I could target all the way up.
They've made it a lot better, though, to be fair. It used to be 1,000 light years. That was it. That was as far as you were able to navigate in one go. Oh, yeah. So, something that was a lot of, messing around.
Yeah, that's like 13 jumps.
Yeah, it is mind you, to be honest with you, those were in the days probably, before engineering and before...
Yeah, so you weren't getting 65 or 70 light years of jump on an engineered ship.
Probably 40 at most, yeah.
So what I ended up doing was, for my frame rate side of stuff, like we were talking about last week, I ended up opening up GeForce Experience and had it predetermine what the best settings would be and just changed it from 1080 to 1440. It was the only change back I made. And it's run, I'm getting even this close to a star. I'm not dipping below 120 frames. And that's not terrible out in space. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't gone on the ground again to see what my frames would look like down there, but this doesn't look terrible. And I still get it looking nice for the stream and everything else. So it works. All right. I got one heat sink left. I'm not wasting another heat sink at the moment. This thing will drop back down before I jump. Yeah, it dropped down to 60s. I'm safe there. We'll just get to where we're going as quickly as possible and figure the rest out afterward. There it goes. As soon as it turns yellow or amber or whatever color that is, we're off the races. Oh, and I do have a bobblehead now. That's new. I did end up buying a bobblehead with the Halloween sale. I have a skull I got a skull bobblehead.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw those. Yeah. I got myself a like a skeleton costume.
Oh, I forgot about the costumes for the actual player.
Yeah. There was various new outfits, but I decided to get just the single pack of the white skeleton sort of outfit, which, to be honest with you, I'm not too worried about, apart from the helmet. The helmet just left as a skull, a glowing skull. On, a couple of the builds, I'm quite happy with for the rest of the year. But yeah, it just came as a pack. It was only a couple of thousand arcs. It wasn't too bad, really.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much ox I have left at the moment. Oh, I'm done like 1,300. Although I'm sure my ox this week will be a little bit higher after doing this run.
Yeah, you'll probably max out your amount once you hand in the data. That'll probably max out all 400 in one go. Yeah, the amount of points that you earn.
Trying to think of where to strategically, because you can hand in data to increase engineers, can't you?
Yeah, what it is that there are some engineers where you can, if you hand in exploration data, will increase increases your reputation with the engineer. Yeah, I think that's right, but I don't think it works with all of them.
No, but
yeah.
I should find out which ones it does and cheese my way through that a little bit.
The only thing is, I'd say, is that it doesn't take much to increase the reputation anyway. So
no, not really.
If you're running the risk of coming all the way back with that data first, so you don't forget, there's going to be, if you get to Sagittarius A, there's going to be some fleet carriers out there, that's for sure. So you could always hand in your data there.
Hand in at least going their data and then collect the big stuff coming back.
Just in case you drop the ball, you've at least handed. It doesn't matter, of course. In terms for your own points, for your own exploration points. It don't matter where you hand it in. It's all good, and that way you don't run the risk of losing it on the way back. And it's not very likely. Don't get me wrong, but often you may as well just do it. Just hand it in wherever possible. Especially if your main concern is your own, your own rank, and hand it in whenever possible, I would say. And you'll certainly find Sagittarius A. There's
fleet carriers.
Oh yeah, there's probably going to be quite a few.
I wonder if there's got to be a subreddit of people that run fleet carriers and when they're planning on jumping back and all that stuff. Or if there's a way that I could hitchhike my way back too. That could be entertaining.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where it is. There's definitely a Discord group, I think, of fleet carrier owners that kind of advertise their services of where they're going and when they're coming back. Of course, particularly between Colonia and the Bubble, but other expeditions, there's often stuff that's kind of advertised in advance, or you can find out who's going to be going. Probably again, Sagittarius A is probably quite likely that you would find a bus back.
Though I wouldn't be getting all of that data.
Oh, you wouldn't be getting any of the data.
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting all that, especially since I'll be doing much more detailed data. I mean, at least at a minimum, FSSing it.
Yeah, no.
Although I did notice something on the FSS scanner that I had never noticed until now, and that was that you can, so the waves or whatever of what bodies there are, it does tell you which kind of bodies there are, those signals are ahead of time. So when you do an FSS, like I'm opening it up right now. Oh, this one doesn't have any.
The positions of the
but it tells you, there's like as you go over that, it will tell you what's there. Down in the bottom right-hand corner. So this is the positions, and I always knew the positions meant something, but I didn't realize that it told you what they meant right there on the page.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've never noticed that particular detail. Yeah.
And for this kind of thing, when I'm only looking for, either terraformable bodies, which they're rocky and high metal content.
But the thing is
But
that
for
to a
waterworld
large part,
ammonia,
well, but those will just show up on the system map once you've honked. The only thing you can't do is zoom in. Yeah, so you know, if you've got unexplored bodies,
yeah,
you can't zoom in, but you can't zoom in anyway on things like water worlds and earth worlds. You know, when you can, flick your mouse wheel and zoom right in. To see that's the only. So if you honk and then just go to your system map, you should be able to see if there's any.
Nope.
Just
If
by
it's
the visuals.
Nope. So when you honk, it'll tell you how many bodies there are. You go to the system map, and it'll only show you the discovered ones, which right now is just, unless this loading simulation, once it loads up after a while. I don't know if you're looking at the stream or not, because I'm.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at you now.
So the honk said there were 10 bodies. There are 0 bodies listed in the local map. But what I can do is open this up, and these. So if we look down the bottom right hand, where signal analysis, there are icy bodies here, and there's just icy bodies here, and this is where you can then go in, zoom in on them.
You know what? I tell you what, it's probably the difference between a completely unexplored. Is this a completely unexplored system?
I'm pretty sure it is.
That's probably the difference then. Yeah. If it's already been discovered, then when you honk first time, even though it won't give you the details of the planets, but you will at least be able to see in the system map, just visually what they look like. And of course, visually you can see if it's an Earth-wide world or an ammonia world. They always look pretty much the same.
Yeah, but down in the bottom it says, it tells you
completely new. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look down in the bottom, as I scroll through here, gas giants, water worlds, ammonia worlds, Earth-like worlds, rocky ice, icy, rocky, high metal content, metal rich. So all you have to do is just scan through these just to see, okay, is there any of these here? And you don't have to scan out the rest of the system if you don't want to.
Right.
And only scan it out in take. So now it's 100% discovered. So now when I go to system map, all the planets show up. And they don't show up that I discovered them yet because I haven't turned the data in.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you honked that system and somebody else previously has already been there, it will, after you've honked it, it will still show a visual of the planets, even though it won't tell you any real information.
Yeah, when you click on the planet, it'll still say unexplored, but that just means someone else has been there. So yeah, these are all just new. Never been honked, never been visited. I'm the first one, or at least never been honked. I'm the first one to do that.
And of course, you'll get when you handle that in, you get extra credits, therefore extra rank for anything new.
Yep. Yeah, because the honk will tell me how many bodies there are, and so that's how I've kind of determined whether or not I'm the first one here in these places or not. Is I just go over and look at the system map and go, well, nope, look, I'm the first one. No one's ever been here before. And it's kind of a cool little thing. But then it tells you down that legend in the bottom right-hand corner those signals, what area of signal that is, so you can tell really fast if there's something worth going in.
Yeah, you just have to start to learn exactly where it's going to be on the little radio dial, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it tells you where your position is on that radio dial, what type of planets would be in that area. So you just have to go and look over that just to know what type of planets there are. They won't tell you if they're terraformable right there or not, but out of the 6 highest paying ones, 2 of them or 3 of them are transferables, but one of them's a water world, which is on there twice. So, because you got Earth-like worlds, water worlds, high metal content, terraformable, ammonia, rocky, terraformable, and water worlds. So that's the list of the highest paying for the for detailed surface and all that stuff. So yeah, I found a really cool Reddit post about it. It was posted about a year ago, but it gives the values of just FSS, FFS plus first discovery, FSS plus the detailed surface scan, and then those two plus the first discovery. It gives you the credit amount of how much you would get for all of those. It's not terrible money.
Again, I mean, I don't know how up to date it is, even with prices, but I do have some sort of graphic. Maybe I can post over to you with pretty much the prices for everything within the game when it comes to bodies. I'll have a look and see if I can, post it over onto the Discord page. Let's have a look.
Here, I'll post this up to you as well, so you can kind of see it. That's what I was looking at.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's in a real easy readable spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of keep my eye on the green ones. With the exception of the high metal content and Rockies, I might just FSS it. I might not at all. It's kind of a flip of a coin, because those are just only the terraformable ones. And I don't know how prevalent terraformable ones are. Byron! Holy crap, it's been a while, mate. How are you doing? I haven't seen you around forever, man. Yeah, we've been playing this game pretty much on Tuesdays. But it's been a hot minute, man. Hoof. That's too much. That is way too much work. But what's new? What else have you been up to? I have 106 more jumps to the black hole that I'm going to for this. Oh boy, what is this? All right, here's a fun question for you. Sometimes when I honk a system, it'll like bring up like a little gold book animation where it's putting it in the codex. What does that mean?
Probably because these are new, these are unhonked systems. So basically it's saying to you that, all right, at the moment that data hasn't been handed in, it's not been officially discovered, but these are new systems, so when you finally do hand them in, you'll find you'll get a bonus for these because nobody's ever honked them before.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So more so than just not doing any sort of a detailed scanning, they've just never even been basic scanned.
Yes, an undiscovered system. Yeah, an unhonked system, basically.
Nice.
But none of this counts until you hand the data in.
Right.
The only one that's instant is first footfalls. You get first footfall the moment you get off your ship.
What they should do is have us be able to design a flag, and then we can plant flags on planets.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. Mind you, I have a Union Jack Cobra. So.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah, it looks alright actually. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, so I have a private group. Actually, Byron, are you still in the Discord? Three to 4 12-hour shifts. That sucks. What is your Discord name again? I used to know it, but now the switch over to YouTube and everyone's names are actual names and not the, It is a nurse's life. That is true. Yeah, my sister-in-law... That's right, Cavalier. My sister-in-law is a nurse. I am going to add you... I guess it is an open. So we have a group in for a section for Elite Dangerous. PM me at some point and let me know what your commander name is. I'll add you to the friends list, and then we, like, when we do play, we kind of play off like my little private group. I get you added to that too. 52 bodies. How many of these are new? Oh my, 52 bodies in this system. This is a busy system. But yeah, I don't particularly like playing open play. Also Cavalier, okay. Yeah, I don't particularly like playing open play. Rocky bodies and then gas giants. There's nothing really. And I'm good. But I do like playing with friends, so we all kind of jump in. Sometimes I'll be doing something and it'll be like a wing mission that I'm just kind of doing by myself. And I'll just share it with everyone, so. But I do like playing with some people, and it's kind of fun they give that as an option. So give me a second, and I'll show you where we're at, where we're going, and what's going on. I think right now I'm officially the furthest away from the bubble that I've ever been. I'm taking a passenger on a mission to a black hole to collect data. So there's where we are in comparison to the bubble on this side, and this is where we're going, right near Sagittarius. I'm doing this whole thing in a Crate Phantom with a double engineered frameshift drive and a Guardian booster. I'm getting about... Oh yeah, I'm way out here. I still have another 103 jumps to go before I get to the black hole. But I'm working on getting my Elite Explorer. And I play mostly Odyssey, but I do sometimes jump into Horizons as well, depending what's going on. But I'm about ready to get... a third of the way to Elite in Explorer to add my second Elite rank. And I think I've been playing... Oh, crap. How long have I been playing now? Well, I can tell you how many hours I have in the game. Oh, wow. I already have 640 hours in this game? Jesus. You don't have the current patch? That's fine. We can... I don't mind popping down to Horizon. Horizon now comes with the base game, so everyone has Horizons. And then Odyssey is the new one that allows you to get out, walk around, adds the whole first-person stuff. to the game. Which is really interesting. It's not as smooth, at least on my system, as like Star Citizen. But it's not horrifically terrible like it first was. It's getting better, and with every update they do, it keeps getting better and better and better. Yeah, you can either wait for a sale or find a third-party site that will sell you a Steam key. That's what I did, and I ended up picking it up for like 25 bucks. But yeah, I got my my little crate Phantom out here having some fun. I pulled off some of my exploration stuff to throw in a passenger cabin so that I can... That's why I took this mission, was from here, the black hole core, and collect data. And they're paying $41 million, and then whatever I pick up by scanning everything, or scanning stuff. It's not a terrible life. But yeah, I pretty consistently on Tuesdays play the... I mean, it's right down my alley of open world stuff and space stuff, so... Once Midnight Snack got me hooked to it, I was hook, line, and sinker. He plays with us sometimes. My brother plays. The guy that's in the call with me right now, he actually found me the first night that I was streaming it, and he's kind of come in and hung out, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just doing the basic discovery scanners on the way there, just so I can get to the black hole. And then I think I'm gonna, because I'll be close enough, I'm gonna head over to Sagittarius A and go check out the supermassive black hole. And then from there, I'll probably do a lot more detailed scanning on the way back to the bubble. Kind of taking 2 trips in one on this thing, because I have 3 weeks to accomplish the mission, so I'm not too worried about time on that. I only picked the mission up, I want to say, a couple days ago. But I figured since I'm going to be that close to Sagittarius, I'll probably be within 100 jumps from Sagittarius. I might as well go there and see it. I don't know when I'm going to be this far out in the black again. But it'll be a while, I'm sure. Under 100.
Pirate mission.
Do what?
I'm doing a massacre mission. Some pirates.
Wing?
No, unfortunately. No, I did look, actually. I was like, no, nothing available here for that. But all the wing ones were, much bigger. I just wanted something, this is like kill 12 for, don't even know what I'm getting for it. Well, 14 million.
Oh, yeah, the old ASP. Yeah, I went with the Crate Phantom. I wanted the extra module sections. So it's like a Crate Mark II, except it's completely stripped down for exploration style. So my Explorer is a Crate Phantom. Good old pirate missions. Yeah, I think any more exploration I do after this for a little while at least will probably be just localized, or I might do something once I end up making enough money to get my own carrier. Once I'm done making food, I'll work for Thursday through next Wednesday. Jesus, dude. Dude, that's rough. I mean, I know it's nurse life and all that, but that's still rough. How's Yvonne been? There's Sunday, Monday off, then Tuesday through Wednesday, then I have 7 days off. Oh, that's interesting. That's really a funky schedule. Where do you work at? DNS weekends off? Okay, you work at Lutheran Rehab. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, my sister-in-law works up at Parkview, and she's kind of in the COVID ward. And a lot of her time is spent in the COVID ward. D&D weekends. Do you guys do the D&D stuff virtual, or are you guys doing it all in person? In person? Gotcha, gotcha. In person, I haven't. Let's see, when was the last time I played D&D? I had been like 14 or 15, which is terrible. I haven't played D&D in probably 20 plus years. I've thought about it, doing it again. Though I'm the type of person that I'd probably end up wanting to do it virtual. I do kind of have an open invitation to jump in with someone that does a virtual group. I just have to message her and ask her and talk to her about it. But I'm afraid that I would end up wanting to troll a little bit and just be silly. So I have to make sure that... Gotcha. So I have to make sure that whatever group I did it with would be okay with me being extremely goofy. Like having a weird trait, like being a bard that has a tendency to lick everything or put everything that he finds in his mouth. Like, I think that would just be hilarious. But I can also know that if I did something like that, I would be an always annoyance. I know, right? Isn't that hilarious? Like, that would just be one of the funniest things out there. And at the same time, it would be the most annoying thing for everyone else in the group, because you know the GM would absolutely take advantage of that. I still think it would be just perfect. That would be hilarious as well. A gnome thinks he's a giant that was shrunk down to gnome size. And keeps forgetting that he's gnome size. But I also realized that if I decided to play that style of a character, I would have to be with a group that would be okay with that, because otherwise that could get so annoying so quickly. One thing I do appreciate about this game too is the fact that when you're and then no one's having fun. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'd be the only one enjoying it and everyone else would just be dreading it. The one thing I do appreciate about this game is this. So when you go on these long journeys, the paint starts rubbing and flaking off. And I think that just looks absolutely stunningly gorgeous of having flaky paint. Let's see. Let's see if we roll this some more. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Sorry, grabbing some screen grabs on the way. I have yet to do anything in mining. I need to build a mining ship. I'm not quite sure which direction I want to go yet. Like, at this point, I have enough credits that money is no worry when building these things. So I can kind of build what I want. I'm still progressing my way through the engineers, so that's not quite as good. But money-wise, I'm not... I'm not worried about it. I just have to figure out what kind of ship that I want, and then whatever the best kind of build is for it. Yeah, 1.2 billion credits at the moment. I mean, I am kind of sort of saving up for a fleet carrier.
You're muted, by the way. Did you know that on the?
Yeah, sorry. I was talking with someone in chat, and I didn't want you to have one-sided conversation that wasn't directed at you.
I've got your volume down on your stream, so I can see you talking, but I couldn't hear you, so I wasn't too sure whether it was me or somebody. I thought it might be someone else. I wasn't worried. Just
yeah, an old friend of mine I haven't talked to in a long time is in chat, so I'm.
Okay. Cool.
We're kind of catching up. He said he hasn't played this game in a while, but he's thinking about coming back to it again. Which would be kind of awesome to get yet another player. I'm always up for more players.
Yep.
So, if I decided that I wanted to get into mining, what ship would you suggest that I build for a mining ship?
Anything that's large, really. It doesn't have to be particularly maneuverable. So anything that's, yeah, you know, I mean, probably the, the Imperial. Is it Clipper? I can't remember the cutter, Clipper. I can't remember which one. The big one. You know, the most expensive ship you can buy. That's probably the most popular one for mining.
Oh.
Just purely because it can take most space. You know, you can
Buy another one of those. I have
Yeah,
two.
sure.
Have
Yeah, I
two
mean,
of them
you
in my
don't have
fleet.
to- yeah, you don't have to A-rate it or anything. The only thing you need to do really is, put in some good, some good mining modules in there.
Yeah.
Plenty of collector limpets and, plenty of cargo space, really. That's all you need for that. Yeah, a mining build doesn't cost too much.
No. Well, and I'm not really that fussed over the credits anyway.
But you can earn, if you know what you're doing, that's how people generally pay for their fleet carriers. It's no doubt that, if you know what you're doing with mining, it's the way of making your fortune probably quicker than any other way.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got 1.2 bill. I'm not worried about how much it cost me to build the thing. I'll make that back.
Yeah, no, you can get, a build back from that for 200 mil for a mining build on one of them.
That include the cost of the 500 mil for the cutter. I'm just kidding. It's not that much. They're not cheap, but
it's just over 100, I think. Just over 100 million for a cutter.
Jeez. Byron says he's using an Anaconda, he thinks, for his.
Yeah, sure. Another
Yes.
big ship.
Thinking a cutter or like a Type 9. Make it really look industrial.
Sure.
Use the flying
any of
box.
The big ones, really. Any of the big ones. It's not exactly as if they have to be maneuverable or, or really do any serious defending of pirates.
Just make sure you have enough collector stuff as well as a refinery and all that.
Yep.
So it's what? It's collector nodes, a refinery, obviously the mining lasers. What else is probably needed or wanted for a mining build?
Space that you can actually start storing it once it's been refined.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because once it gets refined, it then gets classed as cargo.
Right. Okay. And you'll probably want a ship that's got a fuel scoop on it.
Yeah, I mean, to get it, yeah. I mean, obviously around is, I suppose, yes. I mean, unless you can, of course, park it into a place where if you can find any, close by pristine rings, then, then just, if you can find a system with a good starport where you can park it, you can always, of course, then take off. See, that's a good thing about, everything being modular is that, yeah, you can, let's say you find a good system. There you go. There's a good recommended system. So you fly out there, you do your mining, and then you take it back, just a jump or two away to a starport. And but at the starport, of course, you can take off the fuel scoop and you can take off the Guardian frameshift drive booster and replace them with cargo space. And of course, once you've sold it all, you can then do it all back round the other way. You can put them back on and bring it all back home again. So
interesting. How many more of these jumps do I have? 81. Getting there.
How many more?
81.
81.
Not terrible. I'm definitely gonna make it there, and probably most of the way to Sagittarius. On heated up a little bit too quick. Oops. In tonight's stream.
What's your brother doing tonight?
He said he was gonna be late tonight. I think he was going out with some co-workers for a bite to eat and a couple drinks or something. So he messaged me and said that he'll try to make it on later on, but he might be a little late. He'll get there. Nunettes, that's where the your pirates are all at.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I've just killed the last one necessary. So just finishing off these ones here that are in the same group.
I've done some combat. I'm working on engineers so that I can get combat ship better, and I have to worry about it less. But I'm doing all right with combat.
The thing is that with the bounties plus the kill warrant scans, you earn just as much for killing them as you get paid for the
for the
mission
missions.
as well. So,
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's just doubling your money then.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty good, really.
I mean, grabbing the mission is free money at that point.
Yeah, I should get at least 20 million or so for this sort of half hour of activity.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Not terrible at all. I am getting much better and faster at navigating around these stars while still taking in the fuel. Notice that coming out of these.
How do you tend to do it? On your side or under, on your belly or on your? Everybody seems to have a bit of a different way.
I do it up on the upper side. So I turn so the star goes above me.
Yeah.
And then because I have the lines on, I know kind of where to put the line in my HUD for the bottom of the star there so that I can kind of keep that in. So I'm not too close, but yet not too far either.
I think it often depends on your type of ship as well. In other words, how well you can see out of the canopy, whether you can see okay underneath you. So, some ships like an Asp, it's having the star underneath you is perfectly fine. But on a lot of ships, that's not true because your view from the bottom of the ship is nowhere near as good as above you. So, I tend to go on my side for some strange reason. I sort of.
Yeah, the crate doesn't have great view below. It's got decent view sort of above and left and right. But it's not... The Phantom is not the greatest underneath. I don't think anything beats the Diamond, the DBX. Or very few does.
The Asp has got the best view in the game.
Oh, does it? I haven't flown an Asp yet.
Yeah, no, it's you can almost see entirely underneath you as well. You're kind of sitting at the front of a kind of overall glass dome. It's why an awful lot of people still go exploring in an Asp, because you definitely get the best view out of the window out of any ship.
Yeah.
They sound like you're flying a World War II biplane or something, you know, a World War One biplane. It's true, their engines do on an Asp. It's a really strange sound for the ship. It's all right, don't get me wrong, but it's very different to everything else. It really does sound like a biplane.
That's what's one thing that I was watching a lot of videos of people going and kind of going over all the different ships for different stuff, and when I was watching the Explorer videos, that was the one thing they mentioned. All right, Byron, it's good to see you, man. I'll see you when you get back. They said that it's the second most annoying sounding ship in the cockpit, second only to the Vulture, which sounds like it's going to whine and rattle itself apart.
I did the Vulture, to be honest. There was funnily enough, there was a thing with the original crate, with the not the Phantom, but the crate Mark II or whatever it is, and that there was a strange noise that actually, you know, when you hit thrust, you know, when you hit boost, it did this kind of strange sound, and to a lot of people, including me, it sounded like somebody's voice. It was a strange artifact of the sound design. So it sounded like somebody in the room with you, especially if you had headphones on, had said something to you behind you. It was in the end they managed to edit it out. It was like somebody was saying, you know, hello.
That's
hello, or
interesting.
something like that. Yeah, and it wasn't just me. It was loads of people complaining about it. It was this strange sound on the boost button. It was like this muffled voice. It was a peculiar one. But in the end, they didn't, you know, they obviously put it through some sort of sound editor and worked out what this strange sound was and edited it out. But yeah, for
what
a while,
weird bug.
I remember it. Well, it caught me out a couple of times. I promise you, you know, because I quite often used to play, you know, the game with my headphones on, and you'd be like, did someone just say something? And it's like, no, it's this ship. It keeps doing this to me. It's this sound of the thrust. Yeah, it was a strange, not a bug so much, but just this strange little artifact in the sound design of the ship. Yeah, the original crate.
Huh. Yeah, I found this game you don't really need to have to listen to the game when you play a lot of times.
No.
The only reason why I have headphones is because I'm watching something else.
Oh, right, yeah.
Playing it in the background.
Yeah. Well, I often put something like a podcast on or something, you know, and just have the volume down really, really low.
Yeah, I usually just have one ear because I use in-ear monitors instead of headphones.
Right.
Because at one point in time I was shaving my head instead of growing my hair out, and I noticed that I was being a bigger guy. I was getting a dent in the top of my head from the headphones, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I don't want to look like that I've got a dent in from headphones, so I switched to in-ear monitors and just haven't looked back. But they're also nice because I can pull one out, so I can keep an ear out in case the kid needs something or something else is going on. I almost never run with two. Even when I'm like listening to music, walking around the house or whatever, I never have both headphones in. It's either my right or my left. I don't want to give people the impression that I don't want to talk or anything else. I just have some background noise going on.
Play my own music as well with this game. I've got a kind of, you know, a fairly good little playlist put together as alternative. Not that the game music in this is, you know, it's pretty good really, but it gets a little bit samey after a while. So I have quite a good playlist of, you know, various movie soundtracks and whatever, which kind of suits the game as well. So.
What kind of music do you like listening to?
God. I mean, kind of pretty much a bit of everything. Well, you know, stuff like, you know, from The Cure to the Sex Pistols to the Pixies to you know, the Police to the Pink Floyd, anything with a P, really. No, I like drum and bass. I like some dubstep. you know.
For
God,
for
I'm
e-
all
for
over the
electronic
place, really.
for electronic music, I've been addicted to Russian hard bass lately.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, no, that keeps popping up, I must admit.
Yeah, I pretty much enjoy listening to everything except modern country music.
Right. Yeah, I must admit, you know, these it's not exactly my scene, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, somebody said on, what film was it? I said, well, you know what you get when you play like a country and western record backwards. You get your dog back, you get your wife back, you get your house back.
Yeah, I think a lot of that stemmed from my ex-wife liked it a lot, and so there's a lot of ex-wife and I we're good terms now for the kids and everything, but she's still my ex for a reason. So I just kind of I stay away from that as much as possible. I listen to a lot of alternative, a lot of heavy stuff, a lot of obscure stuff. Wife and I both love really obscure, heavier stuff. Like there's a metal band from India called Bloodywood that we're both quasi addicted to lately.
Opposed to Bollywood.
It's called Bloodywood though, but yeah, it's
Yeah. It's a play on the word Bollywood if it's
Yep.
from India. Yeah.
Yeah, and they started off as kind of a parody metal band, but they've been making their own music and it's pretty good. One of their albums coming out pretty soon is called Raj Against the Machine.
Right, oh, very good. I quite like them. I've seen them. I saw Rage Against the Machine years ago.
Yeah, we're going this spring, I think, here in town. We're going to go see Static X.
Right.
Which will be fun. I think that'll be a fun concert to go to. We went and saw Sum 41 before the pandemic and Badfish, which is the big Sublime cover band.
Yeah.
And I think Badfish is coming back again, so we might go see them a second time as well. But it was really interesting going to a Sum 41 concert because I hadn't been to a concert in a long time before we went there. And I was surprised to see the mix of ages that was going to go see Sum 41. And it was a lot of people, in their upper 30s to 40s area, kind of going back as a nostalgic trip. But there was a lot of younger people there enjoying it as well. So I was kind of really happy about that.
Yeah, obviously when I was living in Britain, I used to get the chance to, see plenty of good bands over the years. But since I've been living here, it's much more of a rarity. I think I caught Depeche Mode, funnily enough, about sort of, 6 months before the pandemic hit, and that's the last time I ever got to see anybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that we talked about going and seeing Rage Against the Machine in Detroit, because it's only about 3 hours away. But I'm not sure we're going to be able to make that trip or not. I kind of want to. I'd love to see Rage in concert.
Yeah, I saw them. I can't remember whether it was either at Glastonbury or Reading. I can't. They're all pretty much the same, and this would have been for 93, 94 possibly.
Oh,
like that.
right at the height of everything for them.
Yeah. When their first album, I remember getting their first album. Just the Rage Against the Machine, the album. Yeah, that was really good.
That was like me and System of a Down. I got to go to one of their concerts when they first started off, and I was living outside of Los Angeles at the time, so I went to a bunch of their stuff. Back when Ozfest was still a thing.
I saw Nirvana at Reading back in about 92 at the Reading Festival.
I would have loved to see them.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was, and of course, it weren't that much longer, and it was all over. You know, it was only probably a year later, and it was, that was the end of him. So yeah, it was a good call to go and catch, and that was the main reason I went. I was very much into Nirvana at that moment. So.
That whole grunge and punk movements of the 90s and all that stuff.
Yeah, some good stuff, man.
Oh yeah, still is good stuff. I mean, Blink is still making really good music.
Sure.
Their last album was phenomenal. Which feels weird saying that Blink 182 is still making really good music. All right.
System scan complete. Fuel scoping. Frameshift drive charging.
Getting closer. Down to 64 jumps now.
Yeah, I can see that star density is getting nice, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the density is getting beautiful. Lots of brilliant white and light blues in the sky now. One thing I found funny about having the bobblehead on my dash in the ship is when you drop out of Super Cruise completely, it absolutely freaks out.
Yeah, it does some serious head banging. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, at this point, I just want to get there. I think it's going to look really cool. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, they're certainly a very good photo opportunity. If you're getting paid to go there, then no, it's worth it.
Well, that's what I kind of figured. I was like, I kind of want to take a longer mission again. I kind of want to go kind of deep out there. And I was doing Rabigo runs, and then I saw up on a mission thing. I was like, what are these 40 and 50 million credit missions going to? And I was like, maybe I'll go grab my my Explorer, throw a first class cabin in her, and go pick one of these things up. And that's kind of what I did. I was like, well, we'll go out there. We'll do some. I mean, it's not like I'm worried about the time for turning this in. I mean, I still have 3 weeks to turn in the contract to finish the mission.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd get out there as quick as I could. I was hoping to be much closer, but like I said, I had to go and take 3 hours off earlier today to go pick my kid up and my son up and stuff. So it was like, well, I guess I'll finish it up on stream, because I was planning on like getting up to like 5 or 6 more jumps and then logging off and just hopping in going, all right, here's the black hole, and then we do in the black exploration and head, like you suggested, head over to Sagittarius. But now we just get to speed there and check it out, and then we head to Sagittarius. I'll get some screenshots, some good pictures, and
Yeah, you don't have to worry too much about the black holes. They're fairly undangerous. You treat them roughly like stars, and but you can get fairly close to them without overheating or anything. I mean, not the Sagittarius one, that's a supermassive, but you'll probably be surprised by how small they are, in actual fact, you know, that they're... I mean, and apparently this is relatively true, of course, that genuine black holes are just a few kilometers across.
Yeah.
Which is what this is, but nevertheless, it'll still look pretty good. But you get, you know, instead of getting a few thousand miles, you know, or kilometers from it like you would a star, you get just a, you know, 20, 30 kilometers away from it before you know, start to get into any kind of trouble with one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to angling stuff right and seeing the occlusion disc and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, exactly the same as a star, really.
Except just visually a lot more fun.
Yeah, it can do some, you know, it's a funny one. I mean, of course, nobody really knows what black hole absolutely looks like and what they've gone for. They you know, there's of course, you know, scientific, you know, sci-fi versions of it with accretion discs and all sorts of. What they've done in this game is that it's really, you can't see the black hole itself, but it reflects the light and, you know, pours the light from behind the black hole around to the front of it, and so you'll see what I mean. It's a clever effect. It's an interesting effect, and like I said, the further that you go in towards the center and the more stars you've got in the background, the more pronounced that effect will be. It can look really, really good. So.
I'm looking forward to it. Not too many more jumps now. Now it's kind of feeling more of a reasonable amount of jumps to get there. Yeah, I figured it'd be a lot longer before I'd even get anywhere close to Sagittarius. But I'm not too, pretty happy that I'm this close. It'll work nicely. 58. Between 55 or 65 and 67 light years per jump. I'll take it. That's what I get for prioritizing fuel stars. Although I think my ship... Yeah, 66.03 light years is my current jump range anyway, so I'm getting pretty much max jump out of every one.
Fuel complete.
19 bodies, and I had the codex things pop up, so I wonder what's here. There is a water world here.
Entered now into that final. Think of. See if I can see the name of it. You're into a new region, which is the one right before you get to the Sagittarius A region. So you're right on the border.
Frameshift drive charging.
Where am I at now? Oh yeah. I look a lot closer. Jeez, I'm so far away from the bubble. By far the furthest I've ever been.
You are 20,000 light years away now. Yeah, 20,321 light years at the moment.
Damn. Yeah, I think the furthest I went last time was 13,000. Was where that clockwork system I went to.
Yeah.
The clockwork rings.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one.
All right.
Fuel scooping.
55.
Fuel scooping complete.
L-type. Codex updated.
Winds are back. But with the Witchhead Nebula, so our system's on fire. Yeah.
What's up?
So I'm just observing, yeah, that there hasn't been much Fargoid activity for a while, but they're obviously back now. The Witchhead Nebula has got about 5 or 6 systems under attack at the moment that I can see.
I would like to figure out, is there a different way of fighting Thargoids than fighting other things?
Oh yeah, no, it's it's two things altogether, I suppose. It's that one, you need, to be honest with you, you really do need some very specific AX weaponry, and yeah, I mean, it's things like don't get me, I've had a go at it. I'm certainly not an expert, but you've got to shoot out the certain sections of the of the Fargoid, of the ship, the Fargoid ship structure at a time. You've got to blast off. I think they got this, what they call the hearts. You've got to blast it, and depending on which type of ship it is, they can go from having 4 of them up all the way up until to about 8 of them. Plus, of course, there's also a tactic of, whoops, don't know, is that me or you?
Nope, I dragged my brother in.
Oh, right, I gotcha. Hey.
Not sure if he's got everything
what was
set up yet, but
okay. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
yep.
Sweet.
No, there's also it's things like what you've got to recognise the patterns that Thargoids do when Thargoids are about to do. They do this pulse where they can turn off all your electrical systems within your ship. So when you see them about to charge up and do that, you need to get, say, 3 kilometers distance between you and the ship itself. Otherwise, you'll get all of your defenses knocked out and things like that. So there's no doubt it's a bit of a different skill. These Thargoid hunters have really got their tactics worked out when it comes to. It's really, really hard to begin with. It takes, a lot of practice to work out how to nail Fargoids effectively.
Yep. So how you doing, bro? Okay, your thing glowed, but you did not come through the voice. I heard a half of the word now.
Fuel scooping.
Good old mic technical difficulties.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
Oh, that's funny. 20,600 light years. I just looked over at my brother's little thing when it popped up and it told me that. I was like, holy crap.
fuel scooping.
Because I am way the F out here.
trek, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit. I picked up a contract to go take some rich explorer to a black hole. And then since I'm right...
Just going on a visit when you're that far, or is that a fucking expedition of monumental proportion?
Well, I'm 20,715 light years away right now, and I'm still going. I'm pretty much...
How close are you to being at your turnaround point? Like, oh, another 5,000 light years?
51 jumps. At 65 or 66 light years a jump. I'll put it...
2,500, 3,000.
I'll put it this way. I'm far enough out that I'm hitting Sagittarius A on my way back.
I'm not that familiar with what the...
Sagittarius A is the supermassive black hole in the middle.
Oh, so you're on the far side. Oh.
I'm not on the far side. I'm kind of angled off to the side of it. Give me a...
Close to the center of the entire galaxy.
Here, I'll on the stream, I'll open up the galaxy map real quick of where I'm at and where everything is. There we go. Where I am. Let's say what?
Stay there. I'm gonna pull up your stream.
Yeah. I figure it's probably another 70 jumps to Sagittarius from where I'm going to be at.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit. See, I say since I'm here, it's probably another 60 or 70 jumps over to Sagittarius. So I'll go check out the supermassive black hole in the center of the thing before coming home. And then, like, right now, I'm just kind of flooding there as quickly as possible. And then, I'll do a lot more detailed stuff, you know, FSS, and then detailed surface scans if I need to of certain pilots or certain places on the way back.
So now that I've unlocked that that special drive thing that we did last week,
Yeah.
I can use it on any of my ships, right? I just go into the other ship and then buy the module and install it.
Yeah, you mean the Guardian frameshift drive booster? Yeah.
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 Yeah. You can buy, obviously, you know, you can buy class 1 to class 5. So 5's the biggest. And you can buy as many of them as you like and put them on any ship that you so choose. Yeah, yeah. No,
and you can buy. And you can buy it there at like Jameson. You don't have to go anywhere special.
What again did I buy?
Oh, what?
It's like a machine something, right? In machinery. Isn't there like something I have to buy in order to use that to buy the item, or no?
No, once you've purchased it once with all that stuff, you don't have to do that again. Now you just buy it like you would buy a module. Yeah, you just... Yep.
Yeah, you're just... All you did was unlock the ability now to be able to buy that module just normally. Right. With credits. You don't need any materials anymore to do that. Obviously, you did have...
go up to level 5.
That's right, yeah.
Waterworld transformable.
What's the jump distance difference?
10.5 is a 5. So that's an extra 10.5 light years on any ship whatsoever. I'm not sure of. I'll look that up for you right now. What the smaller one? Right now. I think it's maybe something like, you know, possibly 5 or something for the first one. You know, for grade 1.
Probably could put a 3 in it safely. I can give up 8 cargo spots in my cargo hauler for that. Jump range increase 7.75 light years. That's nothing to sniff, you know.
No, that it's definitely not nothing to
People
sneeze
say
at.
that, that's-
It gives it's a decent little module.
That goes from
That's almost
so
8,
from,
so.
yeah. So from 1 to 4, it goes 4, 6, 7.75, 9.25, and 10.5 is the biggest one.
But really, 9.25 is a big jump. That's the
Yeah, it's not
ideal
bad.
one if you're
Yeah, it's not bad for
if you're kind of
yeah,
going.
for a
You don't
4.
want to go full extreme and go with a 5. The 4
Well,
will get
obviously-
you most of the way there.
It depends on obviously which ship you're going to fit it on. I mean, for example,
true.
the
But like for a
DBX.
working hauler.
But oh, sure, yeah. No, you may as well just put a small, slightly smaller one on. That's it's not a huge amount of difference. But for example, a DBX only doesn't have any Class 5 module slots, so the biggest you can install on that is only a Class 4. And the same, of course, with certain other small ships as well.
It's definitely helpful though. It gives
Yeah,
a good
nearly
boost.
Nearly another 10 onto a DBX is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'm
it's-
getting 65 out of my Phantom.
Yeah, no, it's probably the most essential unlock in the game, to be honest. It really does help. Because, of course, often you can just treat it as temporary. Okay, you want to get somewhere, yeah? Say you want to go, from one system to another in a ship that doesn't have particularly good range, it's going to be a pain in the... So you stick a frame, stick on the biggest, a booster on there, get all the way there, then get to a station there, remove it and replace it with with some armor or some it depends obviously what you're going to do with some cargo space but you can always take them on and put them back on again. It's often quite just handy to temporarily add to your ship so you can get to A to B.
I'm taking a slight detour.
Oh yeah, what are you doing then?
I'm going to surface scan a terraformable water world.
Right.
That's 3.2 million credits because it is a first discovery. So,
Okay.
yeah. I was like, it was just randomly decided to check this one. I was like, oh, there's a water world here. Then I went and scanned it, and it's like, oh, terraformable, but it's like 19,000 light seconds away.
It's not too bad.
Nah. Not for the extra 3.2 mil for
Oh, no.
surface scanning it and being the first to do that.
Yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at. Especially when I'm going for my elite rank, which
That's
I
all about credits. Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause that's all about credits. It's your rank is defined by the amount of credits that you earn doing it. So
yeah, I've gotten pretty much where I'm at right now because the Robigo missions are all, because it's going and seeing they're sightseeing missions. They count, the Robigo runs count as exploration credits. So you don't even have to leave the bubble or too far out of the bubble to make up all of that to get that rank.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was already Pioneer before I realized how to use a detailed surface scanner. Which is the weirdest thing in the world to say. Almost there. Now I just have to get better at doing this part of it.
I'm just gonna grab a quick drink and maybe open a packet of biscuits or two. So I'll be back in a moment. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
So how you feeling, bro?
Good, good.
You feeling any better after the weekend?
Yeah, feeling rested up.
Good. All right. Let's see what those do. Oh, that was a lot more than I thought it was going to cover. Well, shit.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Let's see if that did it on 6 probes. Be close, but I think I screwed that up a little bit on that
Are
side.
you just scanning everything that's of interest out there, or are you doing that for the dude that you're taking around?
No, this is specifically for me. Ooh, and I got the efficiency target bonus. No, I just, every once in a while, there's only a few of them that I will even bother scanning up.
Yeah. Have you resorted to the where you scan around like in the first planetary where you're just like getting the scope of the place, and you only stick around if you see stuff that highlights like it's a water world? Or
Yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
earthquake?
That's all I'm going to be doing.
Or you don't even bother scanning the entire, like not even a first discovery, because it just takes up time. And there's a million other places you could first discover.
Yeah, like right now, I'm just, because I want to get this black hole and get over to Sagittarius, and I want to try to complete both of those things on stream. I've just been mostly just honking as I've been jumping. This one, I happen to just decide, why not just check it and see what happens? And then it happened to be a terraformable water world, which is like almost the most expensive one. And it brought up the little added to the codex thing. So I'm like, yep, this is definitely first person to ever do that. First person to detail scan it. First person to do anything with it. And that's going to be a nice little extra 3.2 mil.
I wish that they would add something into the game where players could like look at a library and pull up all of the terraformable water worlds that are out there in the galaxy that people have discovered, purchase one of them, and then terraform it, and then actually build themselves a planet.
You know, I thought I was thinking that
cool would that be?
Doing another arc on this that would be a really fun thing to do is terraforming and colonization. So hauling out a colony out to it as well, like the beginning of a colonization project.
It's like the next step after the fleet carrier is you start your own colony.
Yeah, a colonization.
You terraform a planet. You start off with the first step of the colony is a orbiting colony or orbiting station around the planet, and then the second stage is you have a settlement down on the surface. Third stage, you know, you like have an upgradable kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
And then eventually you have like cities and shit on your nice green lush surface.
I think
Settlements.
settling and colonization and terraforming, like at least terraforming and colonization would be two runs that would just be absolutely fun.
And find out a way to merge the Sim City UI into the game for when you're designing your planet. You can build it with like an actual like grid pattern and shit. Make it decent looking, and then like actually be able to design it, and like you're actually placing all the access in the game files. That way, once you play it, it actually comes out looking perfect. But from your layout.
That would probably end up being abused very quickly.
Yeah, but it'd be cool as hell.
Oh yeah, it would. Doesn't
if the tool already exists, I'm sure it'd be not that hard to adapt it into the game as like a playable feature. I'm sure that something like that exists for the actual creators of the game.
But even just going and terraforming a planet and doing the stuff that you need to do to terraform, and then having a colony ship to be able to go out to these terraformed places.
See that being like the main reason for doing an update to being able to land on planets with thick atmospheres.
Just
make it like a big deal. Make it like a special class of ship that has to be like a re-entry vehicle type class starship, because none of these are.
Yeah. But have it like a fleet carrier where there's a bunch of people and then you got to collect up all the stuff to get them out there, to get them started and all that.
Find some asteroids while you're out there to collect all the materials you need. Buy it all up and bring it out there.
Oh man, that would be so much fun. I would so do that too. Like as it stands right now, I'm having fun flying out here.
To take all your shit out there, and you have to have a fleet carrier to start the station, to get all the materials out there to build your first flying station.
Yeah, have it like a purchased module on a fleet carrier to be like a shipyard stock.
Pack.
Yeah.
You have to like bring a construction kit out there and get all the construction robots built.
Because having a terraformed planet, being able to put stations out and kind of expand the bubble would be amazing.
Totally high risk.
Yeah, I'm not moving to England for it.
Is that all it would be? Down for that. Imagine how cute that would be with Thing 4 talking with a little bit of an English accent.
Speaking of, she gets her first COVID shot on Thursday.
Hello.
Yep.
Long time waiting.
Way too long. Oh my god.
But you guys made it happen.
It'll be good though.
Is she excited about it?
As what?
You excited about it, or is she?
I think she's kind of indifferent. I think what she's excited for is we've been waiting on that before we go back out and start doing a lot of stuff again.
Yeah.
Because we just want that extra layer of protection.
Yep.
I think that's what she's the most excited about.
Just in time for the weather to get really fucking cold.
No, but we can go like the library again and start doing stuff over there.
You getting a single shot or a double?
It's all double. It's Pfizer's the only one doing it.
Gotcha.
I think it's a double dose. I'm not 100% sure though. We'll find out on Thursday. Hoping that I come across a fuelable star here in a minute. What's going on here? That's 2 in a row, and I'm under 50% in fuel. Kind of getting slightly nervous. I think this is a fuelable star. It is.
System scan
Okay, good. All right, back up and fuel again. 40 jumps, or 41 jumps to go. Got gobbled up by the AFK machine.
Yeah, I saw that. Funny enough, that happened about 20 seconds before I finally got the stick. I knew it. I knew it.
We were just talking about an idea we had for the game.
Uh-huh. Which is,
Adding in 2 more play runs. Terraforming and colonization.
So it's like steps ahead of a fleet carrier. So like after fleet carrier, what's the next big money sink? Is there? So what you could do is you could have like you fly your big damn ship over to a planet that is discovered throughout the universe. You go to like some place that has like an index of all the terraformable water worlds that exist in the universe that people have discovered.
yeah.
And then you can buy one and then fly to it. And the first step is setting up an orbital station around it. Second step would be like having a little station that you like a little outpost down on the surface. Third step, eventually blah blah blah, until you eventually have like a settlement and then like a city and a civilization that you create.
Yeah, I mean,
You're in charge of it.
it would require 2 kind of expansions, really, wouldn't it? In the sense of one, a really viable working economy within this game, which it kind of only, frankly, has on the surface. In other words, a way of, once you invest all of that, of getting your money back in some way, having it be something that generates its own economy. Therefore,
Yeah, maybe they can even make it as simple as if you own it, it just pays you money.
Or
If you're rich enough to be able to buy one, it just pays for itself.
instead of buying one or whatever, it becomes a mission thing with some of the superpowers to join in and to do it. That would be interesting too.
I suppose, just being told, almost like, as you say, accept a mission, you've got to go this number of 1,000 light years away and start setting up this colony by shipping the shipping the materials needed and shipping the passengers needed, the scientists needed, and and something that would take perhaps the matter of weeks to finally achieve, and then with some huge reward at the end of it once it's all
And
set
you could
up.
bring like a fleet carrier out there and have all your buddies with you, and them all helping carry out shit. And
Sure,
like
Yeah,
a
make it
win-win mission, and so everybody can complete the mission.
Yeah, and make it a massive credit bonus for it, and maybe, because I was thinking, okay, how are they going to expand out? Because eventually, as the game goes on, you're going to want to expand out in another Colonia type thing.
That the gatekeeper for whatever class of ship they're gonna have to design for re-entry vehicle style ships that can actually re-enter atmospheres. If they're gonna make that realistic, they're gonna
The big call is the one for what the big call for the next ship is, the one that you constantly see asked for is what's called the Panther Clipper. Panther Clipper is the biggest ship in the game from the second game, the game Frontier Elite 2, which is probably going to be so big that you wouldn't be able to ordinarily dock a normal starport with it. You wouldn't be able to get it through the slot. So which would introduce a whole
your smaller ships out of it.
Exactly, in and out. You'd have to use a shuttle to get in and out of stations, etc., from the ship itself. Yeah, things like that. And maybe the idea of, I know what you mean when it becomes, when there's thicker atmosphere worlds. Maybe you need a specific type of ship to get in. Somewhere that's not. Maybe the atmospheres are too thick for the type of class ships that we have at the moment. That you need
And you were
a
asking
ship with better.
what would be the payoff for doing the settlement thing and maybe make that their prerequisite in order to be able to get access to a ship that lands on the surface, is you have to go through that thing, and then through that process you build your own ship inside your station and then drop it down to the surface, and that's how you make your own settlement. And so anybody that wants to land on a surface with a thick atmosphere have to go through that process. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah, no, there's some. I mean, over the years, I've heard so many, nice ideas to do with Elite. And yet so few
It'll only
of
be
them actually
another
ever come to
5 years of
fruition.
development.
Yeah,
Just pull that off.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
I think that terraforming or something and making it a mission thing with some superpowers or something, that would be the way to actually start it up, and then just make the monetary and the bonus of it be a massive amount of credits or some specialty stuff, maybe credits and a ship.
Yeah, I think that rather than running your own base, I mean, there's plenty of other space games out there. For example, the X series games, with some real dynamic economies in them, but they become more management games than they do almost space games to a certain extent. And I think, I'd rather, like you're saying there, I kind of like the idea of it just being a mission. In other words, it's not my base, but I'm be taking on the mission of setting it up, transporting all the equipment out there, transporting all the the colonists out there, various stages, if you like. That that would be more than just a a one-day mission or a couple of hours mission, but something that takes
that would take weeks or months even.
Weeks, yeah, sure. Yeah, and a long way away, start setting up these little satellite colonies, all at various places around the galaxy.
And then those could be new formations and beginnings of the next Colonia type of an idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, some good ideas there. Just how much willpower that Frontier developments have really with this or not. I think this is it with this game, is that particularly what with the rather not exactly stellar release of Odyssey.
Yeah, they kind of shoehorned Odyssey into the engine of Horizons, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean it's all still using the. Yeah, but I think that the biggest problem with Odyssey is that it was just clearly just released too early. I mean,
it was rushed.
I reckon I get the feeling if it come out as it is now, 6 months ago, which is when it was released, then they might have got away with it. The amount of criticism would have been probably. But I get the feeling almost the company is kind of slightly disheartened by it now. It's almost I think that some of the negative press and a lot of the negative criticism and stuff has perhaps taken the impetus from the company away from the game as well. I suppose we'll just wait and see. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe there will be another expansion. Maybe there will be. But to a certain extent, for a company that's done so much right, and this is it. I do get a little bit eye-rolly at all the negativity about it.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect game by far, of course it's not.
I think,
of course, there was a lot of problems with Odyssey, but for the most part, this company have created something pretty amazing, and there's an awful lot of people shitting the bed over something which was really just clearly released early. That's all.
Yeah.
It's a bit like if it had been what do they call it? Where a pre-release, what do they call that? Where you
early access.
Yeah, early access, expansion. So not officially yet released, but even just pay, even if it was paying to be early access, there's plenty of early access. Phasmophobia, that's still early access title. What's the problem? I don't see the problem, but a lot of people seem to feel that they should have got the absolute top-notch product the moment it was released, and it was, come on, No,
Yeah, I
they were
think.
hit very hard, I think, by COVID. I do think that COVID put everything
Oh,
back
yeah.
forward by a good 6 months. No one was in the office. That office was practically closed for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they stumbled a bit, but it also did bring out a lot more transparency with them putting together bug tracking and roadmaps and dev updates. Like, they're doing a lot more of that kind of stuff than they did before.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So
yeah. No,
I think
you're right. Yeah.
I think they saw, I think they heard. They aren't going to necessarily come out and say, okay, we completely shit the bed on this, but they doubled down on making at least the conversation happen a lot more between the community and the devs and Frontier and everything else. I think that was their way of apologizing without apologizing, because they don't want to throw shareholders under the bus, because that's who's paying the bills.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
And so I think that was their way of saying, okay, we hear you loud and clear. This wasn't up to expectation. So now here's what we're doing. Here's our weekly updates that we're going to be putting out to the game. Here's the weekly minors, the weekly majors, or whatever. And here's the process of which we're going to do this. And I honestly think that's a massive improvement as a byproduct of what happened. There's a lot more communication now than there ever was before.
Yeah, no, this time last year, I mean, you had practically no idea what even was in Odyssey,
Yeah,
there was
you
no
were-
real information. They were so secretive almost as a company. It was baffling. I mean, they
You were-
certainly needed...
You were lucky to get a forum post, let alone a tweet.
Yeah.
And now they have, weekly updates. They have a board that's actually being updated and utilized. They're having dev streams every week. I mean, there's a lot of access. Most gaming studios don't give anywhere near that kind of access.
But everyone's comparing them to Star Citizen in that regard.
Yeah.
Which is, a fairly extreme opposite end. I mean, there's no doubt.
It is, but
Star
I
Citizen
also
are
think...
almost the complete opposite of that end, in the sense of that they're very transparent with, but the whole game is early access. The whole game, it has to be, otherwise no one's going to put into it. Whereas,
Well,
this is a largely completed game already. So
Star...
I think it's a bit unfair of them. That's all. It's a bit unfair to necessarily compare Elite Dangerous to Star Citizen in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Because so on one end you have a studio like Frontier that has shareholders, obviously, and so when they're probably beholden to certain amount of monetary uptick per quarter or per month or whatever, and so you get rushed releases because we said this was going to come out, pandemic be damned, we still need to do this, etc., etc. But on the opposite end of that, you have Star Citizen, who is funding their entire thing by selling packages and pretty much running their own Kickstarter network within the game. And they don't have any one particular group or people holding a foot to a candle. And so you have a multi-year alpha process in which they're almost going perfection to their own detriment in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So you have kind of two games on the opposite ends of that spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You kind of want to fall somewhere in between, because sometimes having someone hold your feet to the candle means, okay, maybe we stop adding stuff in and we fix up what we have. And Star Citizen hasn't reached that point yet. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I think the game, whenever they decide they're going to pull it out of alpha, is going to be absolutely stunning.
Yeah, but by the time they actually get it to where it's in finger quotations done, are they going to have a player base that cares?
Yeah.
Enough people left that give a shit.
So, while...
I think to a certain extent that kind of thing will depend on, you know, are there any alternatives also out? I mean, you've got things like Starfield, obviously, you know, now who knows really what Starfield's about, but, you know, that could come out of, that could come out and be so surprisingly good and so surprisingly, such a surprising competitor that a lot of people who have invested in something like Star Citizen don't care. So, I mean, who knows? I think we'll probably tell in a couple of years' time or not whether or not they've got some serious competition, to come.
So when's that competitor supposed to be coming out?
I think probably at the end of 2022 or something.
Yeah, I think that's when Bethesda said they were coming out with it. And see, that's the other problem is that we don't know, is it going to be the next Skyrim or is it going to be the next Fallout 76?
Yeah.
It honestly doesn't matter because it's still going to be worth, if you get a Skyrim, it's worth going to it it's worth suffering through a Fallout 76 if you end up finding a Skyrim one day.
No, I completely agree with that. And now, I think actually now that Microsoft bought Bethesda, I think it's going to be a much better experience for them.
A little bit more quality control.
Because, well, they do allow, so Microsoft, when they've bought other game studios in the past, they have allowed them to kind of continue doing their thing and making it great. I mean, Sea of Thieves.
Dumb. They know what makes the show work.
Yeah, I mean, Sea of Thieves is a great example of that. Rare was struggling with that game for the longest time. Microsoft bought it. Everyone thought it was over, and suddenly they've got new shit every week, like clockwork, and they're constantly adding stuff to that game. It's amazing.
Let's do a stream of that one day. Come on, guys. Let's do a one-off. Let's go on Sea of Thieves. I love Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I have to play that again.
Yeah, I love it.
It's been a minute since I've played it. I don't know. Did we play that together or not?
I don't know if I own it or if I just watch people play. I don't remember.
It is part of the Xbox Game Pass for PC, which is
something that's free.
No, it's $10 a month, but you get hundreds up to thousands of games access to it. It's kind of nice.
If I was like a super hardcore gamer, I'd be all over that, but I'm not.
The new Battlefield that's coming out this week on the 11th is part of that whole thing because Microsoft bought out the studios that run Battlefield. All three Minecrafts are now as part of that group too. I mean, you already own 2 of the 3, but
Any like paid perks for me?
huh?
I could see like better access to like some of their hosted servers.
Yeah, I don't think there is that, but
I guess they can't really bunch in that much extra shit. They're already giving you a bunch of other shit for that money.
But yeah, no, like it's just. I think also another game that's in that Game Pass is the new Flight Simulator. There's some really good games in there. I mean, I picked it up just for a handful of stuff, but
You know what fascinates me is the numbers behind the scenes with what they're making from doing the Game Pass versus what they were making with actually selling the individual games.
oh yeah,
And they're seeing, I mean, it's amazing what you can get from Game Pass. So it's amazing just the number of people that the Game Pass pulls in that'll make it that much more worth it for Microsoft to do that. Those are the numbers I want to see. I want to peek my head under that curtain.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think to a certain extent, it's perhaps what you would call a kind of semi free-to-play model. I think part of the idea is, of course, is that you get players. They pick up the game on the Game Pass, but then of course where they really make the money is by with the DLC. It's or with any of the expansions, and I suppose a lot of the games which are available on the Game Pass is available in its most limited form. It's obviously if you want to buy the expansions, etc., that's probably outside of the Game Passes. I mean, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was a big part of how they pull back plenty of the money. It's a semi free to play model. They're getting obviously a much smaller fee, but
the titles that you got access to is like, it doesn't discriminate. It just, if it's got the Microsoft label on that thing somewhere, it's, damn it, you got it.
No, it's a great. From what I've seen, there's some excellent games on there. There's the opportunity to really have a get pretty damn good value for money, I must say. How much do you pay for yours? Darkwing?
For the Game Pass, $10 a month.
Yeah, $10. Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, that's pretty damn good, really. Yeah.
Fuel scooping.
For access, I mean, I jump around for a lot of different games, but it's not.
For 2 at Wendy's.
Fuel scooping complete.
$10. Number 2 at Wendy's a month. That's not bad.
No, it really isn't. For what you get, if you look at the Game Pass for PC, the list of games,
Literally unlimited hours of game time possible.
yeah.
The games kind of come, do they come on and then get removed from the list? Is that, I mean, how does it work with that? Because is it one of these where you get, say, a certain number of games that you can effectively have installed at any one time, and that's fine, you can keep that game if you want to continue playing it, but that game then may get removed from the general list and others introduced? Is that how it works?
So I think a lot of the games that are on there are Microsoft Studio or Xbox exclusive type stuff, because they're trying to balance between the Xbox and the PC and try to make it all one kind of like one unit or whatever. So I don't think they're removing any of these because it's all Xbox exclusive side stuff where Microsoft either owns or has influence in the studios. So I don't think any of this stuff's going anywhere. When it first came out, I think there were some independent ones that they could add into it if they wanted to or take it away, but I think they did that a little too much and people complained that games that they had paid for it for weren't on there anymore, and so they just kind of you either put it on there permanently or you don't, and so you're not going to get a lot of independent groups on there. But if Microsoft has a hand or their Xbox exclusive type titles, they go on the Game Pass. And so it's all they've really done is taken the whole Xbox Gold, Game Pass Gold thing for their online catalog, and they pushed it to PC for games that can be played on the PC. So they took that same model that they've been running on the Xbox since 360, and they just applied it over to the PC.
Makes sense.
I mean, it was a highly successful model for them on the Xbox for years.
Oh, that makes me wonder what took them so long.
It took them.
Genius move, and then I'm like, oh, it took them.
Yeah, I think what it did is it took each version of Windows updating, got them closer and closer to being able to almost run a parity between the Xbox systems and the Windows system.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why they've been doing like the Xbox Live shit in Windows. Oh.
Yeah. So that was kind of the step one, and they've just been slowly working toward a parity between the two, to where an Xbox is now pretty much just a glorified PC, or a PC being an overpowered Xbox with running Windows.
That's cool. That makes it easier for the programmers too, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
Because then shit that runs in Windows will just probably run in the Xbox.
Well, and that's why you're seeing a lot more games that are designed, you can tell by far were designed for consoles, are being released on PC very easily, is because that parity, now you really only have to design, if you're designing a game, you only have to design it for 2 platforms instead of 3.
Yeah.
Because it used to be you had to do...
Just the control settings.
Yeah, you used to have to do PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and now all you have to do is just do PC/Xbox and PlayStation, and it should run on both. But yeah, no, I've been insanely happy with the list of games on Xbox Live. I've been kind of surprised with it, actually, honestly, because I figured it would just be a bunch of, you know, single A titles, or just kind of like, eh.
Like a lava world. Can I land on a lava world?
They do look good. I know what you mean. It reminds me out of, I think, Biddy Prime out of the original Dune.
God,
Okay.
that's so beautiful.
If you can't land on it, can you at least fly down into the atmosphere and...
You get close to it, yeah. I mean, they do look good close up, but no, they're
Just
not
blow them
landable,
up if you get too
unfortunately.
close.
Yeah, no, they're really good. You know, you're right.
How close
They're black, aren't they, and shiny, and then they've got the red. You know,
Yeah.
that red
How
glow.
close is too close?
Well,
Oh.
you'll get to the exclusion zone. It will stop itself, obviously, as close as you like, and you know you'll
Oh, okay,
soon
so it
find
won't
out.
blow me up.
No, it'll just stop. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, as soon as I
It's
get
not-
out of here after I sell this load, I'm gonna go in close.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fine with planets. It doesn't, you know, you don't overheat or anything going too close to a planet. It just pulls you out, you know, of super cruise once you hit the exclusion zone.
And then what happens if I just fly straight at the planet at that point?
I think it kind of. I think you know, you don't really move anymore. It kind of, you know, your thrusters sort of struggle against, you know, against nothing. Your kind of your thrusters are pushing, but you're not making any speed. Something like that. I mean, you know, it's not a.
It's like you're a fish in a fishbowl flying up against the side of the
Yeah, of the glass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They should
Q.
they should make it landable. They should make it landable and do it like Chronicles of Riddick style with the prison.
Transitioned into a new game. Now you're playing like it.
Well, you know, you've seen the movie, right?
And now you're playing Rust on the planet of
I had someone try to get.
You have to build a new ship to fly off.
I had someone try to get me involved in a Rust server.
It all sounds appealing until you actually play it.
I've played a couple of games
Play
like
for
that, and it's
5
just
or
like,
6 hours, and you're feeling like you're getting the hang of things. You got a little tiny home base. You got a little spear, maybe a little bow and arrow set up. You got a little campfire and some food saved up. And you're feeling good about yourself. You spend about six hours in the game, and then suddenly you hear 2 children talking over a public mic, and they just come up wearing full armor, having shotguns. While they're talking, they're just having a conversation between them in a public server. And then they just continue talking while they jump in, blast you, take all your shit, and just hop out, still just chatting about whatever the hell 12-year-olds chat about. That is honestly my experience with playing the game.
I must admit, I really like. I love the
Children had
videos.
no interest in talking to me. They were just chatting amongst themselves as they went down and killed newbies. Like it was just part of their day. Oh, I'm just out farming newbies today. How about you, other child? It was so demoralizing. I uninstalled the game and stopped playing.
I've seen some brilliant videos though of Rust.
Oh,
Guys
yeah.
who make little, trap.
Oh, yeah, the trap ones
trap
are-
houses, and they're hilarious, absolutely brilliant. And then some of the big raids, some of the big battles that they have. Some of these, these larger clans that go raid each other's next door, and absolutely massive fights they get into. But yeah, you're right, it really does look like something you either commit an awful lot of time to, or you're dog meat.
So- The only game of that style that I got into for a while was Scum when it first came out.
Oh right, yeah.
And I really enjoyed it up until the point where, because at that point in time, I was a much better shot in games and really into the whole FPS, the first person style stuff and all that. And I was in a fight with someone, and it was brilliant because we were about even, and then I got desynced headshot. To the point where suddenly I was dead, and then 3 seconds later is when the shots rang out from a different area of someone that knew that their ping was bad, and they were using ping desync to go and gank people. And I was, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm done with these types of games now. I'm glad I played while I did. It was fun. It was fun being able to, just take a shit somewhere if I wanted to. That was a hilarious game mechanic, but when that kind of server desync and high ping gets that kind of a play on, I'm good.
Yeah, but can you imagine how fun it is for him to ping desync kill people?
Oh yeah, no,
It's gonna be a
it's that's got to be amazing, but that's also one of the reasons why I stopped playing PUBG was for that same reason. It's fun until you have to fight servers as well as other players because of ping desync.
Yeah, it's no fun.
And then I'm just like, okay, I'm done with PvP for a while like that.
When you say ping desync, what are you referring to? I mean, you're just talking about differences between.
Yeah, so
your high ping and your opposition is really, really low ping. So of course they've got the advantage of.
Yeah,
being able
because
to shoot you before you see them, I suppose.
yeah, that way, or there's a delay because the server tries to make up the difference between the two. But
Okay.
Well, the server knows where both players are, and so player B who has bad ping can pop out around a corner, see player A, but player A doesn't see player B yet because the server hasn't told player A that player B has popped out around the corner because of this bad sync. So he can pop out, shoot, pop back in, well before the other player even sees that player exists in space.
and so
Back in my Quake days, I had a T-shirt. I'm talking about Quake 1. When I was playing Quake back in the late 90s, and I had a T-shirt that just said "Ping is everything."
Yep.
It was kind of cool.
well, and that was it. The higher ping or the lower ping that you had, the closer you were at to the servers, you had. In some ways, you had a good advantage, but in other ways, you had a massive disadvantage.
In Doom and Quake and a lot of those shooters, the higher ping had the advantage.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the lower ping had the advantage.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's why. I remember at the
Your
beginning.
advantage, one high, one low.
This was certainly true, I think, to a certain extent on the world stage, but certainly true within Europe, was that all the Scandinavian countries, these were the first countries in the world to get broadband. These were the first countries to get, really high speed, internet connections with much, much lower pings. and they would their clans were dominating everybody else, you know, because they were so used to playing at these, you know, we're paying at, you know, 150 to 200 pings on our 56k modems, and they've got, you know, they've got broadband, they've got they're you know they're pinging at 20, 30
and
ping
so
or something like that.
they
Absolutely
play at
massive.
that level, and then
Yep.
even during LAN stuff, they'll still dominate because they're used to playing at
They're
that.
used to it, yeah. They're adjusted, yeah.
And so all the people that are used to playing on a little bit of a ping, and then suddenly they play LAN, and it's like, oh my god, the game feels different. What the hell?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it was true. It was, you know, all the Scandinavian countries had right at the beginning. You know, it took, eventually, of course, you know, other countries, you know, got themselves things like IDSN and ADSL and whatever. But they were the first countries in the world to have that almost right from the beginning, and they would dominate. They would absolutely dominate the Scandinavian clans. Would dominate Quake and Doom. Certainly over here in Europe, anyway. Yeah.
That's why, especially now, because of how servers deal with high ping people and try to balance it, a lot of pro tournaments are all done on LAN where everyone is all connected to the same, so that no one has a ping advantage.
They should just put everybody through a ping filter, so everybody has whatever the lowest person has.
That'd be interesting.
So if one person's at like 95, and then everybody else is like at 60 or 40 or 30 or lower, then it like filters everybody out and then bumps them so that way they all match at 95. Because 95 is playable.
Yeah, but I
I
like
300.
I enjoy playing sub 20, which is what I usually play FPSs at, because I've got the fiber lines direct into Chicago, where a lot of those North America Central servers are at.
Yep. At one point, I had, when I was living with Ryan up in the Bay Area.
Oh
When
yeah.
I was playing WoW, we were on East Bay with Hayward, so we were close to like where all the tech, like the main tech people were kind of in that area.
Yeah.
Yup.
And so we got some great, we had like really good pings to our server, because the actual server from Blizzard that we were connecting to was like 3 miles away from where we lived.
Yeah, nice.
And we both played WoW, so my buddy got like the best internet he could get, so we had like a fiber optic cable run from the Blizzard server to our living room, essentially.
I remember my first days of playing Quake was I was on a 56k Flex modem, you know.
Oh yeah.
Little piece of nonsense, man. Yeah, over probably about 320 ping, you know, between 320 and 350. I remember then, you know, being told, get yourself an external modem, you know, not a K-Flex, get an external. And that was true. That took it right down to, you know, under 200. But then I remember going to, you know, to broadband, you know, to ADSL. And because I lived in West London, you know, which is, yeah, sounds very similar to you, you know, as far as Britain's concerned, that's where, you know, most of the, you know, the heavy infrastructure for the internet is all based. I suddenly had, yeah, I think, you know, between 15 and 20 ping. You know, it was like playing a different game. It was like playing a different game. Yeah.
Oh, God mode engaged.
I am
Peons are below me.
Yes,
You
yeah.
swing around as
Yeah, it
I
was incredible.
snipe you all.
Yeah. Oh no, that's right. No, I had ISDN for a while as well. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
I
got
think that was our
IDSN.
first. I think that was the first one we had.
For
Take
broadband,
you
yeah.
to about 60 ping. You know, I mean, pretty damn good. You know, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
The
getting
first one we had was a 14.4.
Yeah, I remember the jump from 14. We went from 14.4 to 28.8. I thought that was insane. And then I was the first of our friend group to get a 56k modem. And everyone came over to play Unreal Tournament after that. That's what we played. We played a lot of Unreal Tournament.
First modem on my Amiga, you would use to just phone up local bulletin boards.
Yup.
It was a 1K, 1.2K modem, man.
Woohoo.
It was like rippingly fast.
Yeah, I remember dialing in to Prodigy boards on a 14.4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Prodigy and
I was
Usenet.
too young for any of that. I don't remember any of that.
Hey, I'm 3 jumps away from this thing.
David was he was just enough years ahead of me to be into that.
Yeah. I remember you kicked our ass in Unreal Tournament all the time, though.
Oh yeah. And Elite Force, which was like that was the Quake 3 engine reskin
Star
for
Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. That's really good, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that was just re-released, funnily enough, on GOG. Finally. So,
Yeah, Elite Force 2, those were great. Those were fun.
yeah.
I would play against Dad and David and just whip their asses
Yeah.
just routinely. We'd play like deathmatch or whatever. It would be like 10 minutes and it would just tally up how many kills you would get. And they would get me. They would work together and they'd get me, but it would just be like clean up the garbage.
Yeah. Yep. And now I do that to you. Although it's been so long since I've played a first-person shooter, I probably would be terrible at it right now. Yeah, I got to the point a few years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, where I was on tryouts for a small pro team for PUBG, and then
Yeah, that's when you were showing me some highlights and some kill streaks. I was like, damn.
yeah, I was almost to that point in Call of Duty on the PlayStation 2 before I stopped playing Call of Duty. All right, next jump, and I'm in the right system.
I get a feeling like a third of all pro Call of Duty players are ex-military. I think that's just a prerequisite of being military and being the fucking pro Call of Duty player. I actually remember in the tour on the ship, in the crash area, like the break area, there being TVs and like an or a PlayStation with Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. This place looks gorgeous. This is like blue and shiny.
But I'm watching the stream. Let's see it. Catches that.
Is that right? Is that in a nebula? No, it's probably in a nebula, right?
I don't know.
Look at the
Have a look at the
station map.
You'll be able to see
Not the station map, but the
galaxy map.
Looks like it's somewhere near a...
Looks like you're in a nebula. Yeah.
Give me a second. I gotta get a...
Yeah.
Aren't you like right toward the center of the universe too, or straight at the center of the galaxy?
Close. All right. What do we got going on here? Galaxy map. Yeah, it looks like I'm in the middle of a nebula. Yeah. It's
Probably. I mean, the point of going there was obviously you were being sent
Can you imagine
to a
if
place
that's actually
that's...
how bright it is at night? And then like if you actually lived on a planet inside that nebula? Holy shit, that's just... It looks like a star just blew up. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah, no, that's a nebula. Yeah, nice.
Damn.
All right. What does he say here? Nav beacon data. Target body 2A. All right.
Hey bro,
Yo.
I'm gonna have to jet there's a band practice currently going on, and I'm going to my fucking mind if I have to listen to this all night. So I'm going to be leaving the house.
All right. That sounds good.
I'm glad you can't hear it, but I kind of wish you could, so you could experience what I'm experiencing right now. Like, it wouldn't be so bad, but they got a dude on the bass, and he's got that fucking amp that he's got jacked way up, so it's like as deep.
I hear a little bit of it.
Yeah, I hear something in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like actually vibrating the floor, and so I feel it in the chair and in my hand and the mouse. Every time this dude plucks a string, I feel it in my hands and my feet. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Enjoy the evening.
Hey man, take it easy.
Later, bro.
Later.
And all that paint scraped off my hull. Somewhere I gotta find the black hole. This is all nebulaic. Something there, there's something there. I'll figure it all out.
Have a look at the system map, and basically it's like it's you know, you can tell a black hole is there because it's pretty much marked like a sun would be, but there's nothing there.
Yeah, it looks like it's dark green or black. So here's this. Oh yeah, black holes typically still are remnants. So I'll come back out and check that out in a minute. He wants to go over here to this thing, but I'll go back over to that black hole when I'm done. Oh, this is cool. This is so cool. I'm enjoying this.
Jumped out where Dab's Hope is, and somebody's right by the main star has got a fleet carrier called Zorin Industries. You know, from the James Bond movie. That's wicked.
That's good. I like that one.
What one was that? View to a Kill, I think, isn't it? The one with the Christopher Walken and the airships. What was it? Zorin.
Mission objective complete.
Yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, they're absolute geniuses at times. But in this one, in Odyssey, they've managed to put Dab's Hope which it was already on a planet which was tidal locked. So in other words, the same side always faces the star.
Yep.
Well, they've managed to put it on the dark side now. So
All right. So now he's telling me if I manage to get him back without getting scanned, then I'll get a bonus.
okay. How much did he? Some idea of how much you'll get extra?
Looks like 3 million extra.
Okay. Well, the only place you'll get scanned, obviously, is simply when you dock. So.
Yeah, but I'm going back to.
That part.
Well, I'm going back to Rubigo mines anyway, which they don't scan. So, because everyone there is illegal.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have to worry about getting scanned there. The only thing I'm worried about is if I do end up going to Sagittarius and I dock at a carrier, do they scan? Fleet carriers? Because I was going to go drop my...
I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, in terms of legality, I wouldn't have thought that that's the issue, because of course, it's not, any sort of legal jurisdiction. But whether just the act of getting scanned itself is what he's talking about. I mean, why wouldn't he want to be scanned? He's not an illegal passenger, is he? So.
I don't think so. He might be. I don't know.
But it would normally say on your cargo, on the as a, on your inventory, if you like, it normally says whether or not the passenger is legal or not. But
yeah, I don't know. All right, we're gonna go check out this black hole.
I will watch your stream. Have a look.
It's freaking gorgeous here, though, being in a nebula. I don't think I've ever been inside of a nebula yet either, so
okay.
This is a new thing for me. Small black hole at the center of a planetary nebula. Yep. This is kind of cool. I gotta admit, this was pretty fancy. Yeah, I'm glad I made this trip out here. This was definitely worth it. All right. Wonder how far I am from Sagittarius. Once I check out this black hole, then I'll check to see that, because seeing the supermassive will be kind of cool too.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it'll just look like the same thing but bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of figured. Although I wonder if it makes a difference seeing a black hole inside of a nebula versus a regular black hole.
Yeah, well, of course, with the way that the light is diffused around it, it will be. But then the star density at the center is even bigger, so maybe it's worth seeing.
Have you been out there before?
Nope.
No.
I've never been to Sagittarius. No, I've never been to Sagittarius.
I see the warping. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I see what they did. They just did like a fishbowl effect.
Yeah, like a strange, almost like magnifying glass lens effect, isn't it? It's
Wonder if you can even see it from outside the ship or not.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you'll see. You can get quite close to it. You can, you'll be surprised how close you can get.
Wait, I'm like 14... 6 mm. Oh yeah, you don't even really, you can't really run into it and hurt yourself like you do a star. This is quite interesting.
I must admit, that looks like a really tiny one though. And I'm not saying they're big, but that almost seems like a marble. It's.
Definitely tiny. Okay, that's cool. All right. That was impressively cool.
There you go. Yeah, I can see it. Obviously, I'm a little bit behind you at the moment.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that
looks
was
great,
cool.
but wow. Yeah, that looks
All right,
good.
I'm going to try to get that captured from the outside now. Oh my god, that was so cool. All right, I got to fly a little bit further away from it and come back and do that again.
The only thing I suppose about them is that they're only kind of apparent when you're moving, so taking kind of screenshots of them, I mean you can, but they don't give off the same that sense of depth, if you know what I mean, unless they're moving. It's the moving that it's the motion that you can kind of perceive as opposed to just the still image.
Yeah. I'll rip through it again there. Now that I know that this thing is so small that it's not going to damage my ship if I crash into it.
No, it should be okay, I think, yeah. And it doesn't matter anyway, man. You've got a skull bobblehead, man. You can handle anything.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, pull back up a little bit and up this way. And now we wait for a half sec. Yes, this is riveting. May not be able to pull a screenshot this way, but what I can do is pull up the stream later on and grab screenshots of areas that I want.
Yep.
Oh, it did not pop me out. I got too close. Oh, this is gonna be perfect then. All right, this is fine. It did pop me out for being too close.
Yeah, yeah.
Finally got too close to it.
Oh no, that's spot on though. Look at that, yeah.
Oh my god, look at this.
You might need to be a little bit careful when super cruising away. You may start to overheat slightly. So obviously think about popping a heat sink, maybe, if it becomes obvious you might need one. But that's amazing. Yeah, that does look good, man. Look at that. That's really cool. That's a great screenshot, man. That's an eye, Sauron's eye, man. There you go.
Oh, that is so cool. All right. Let's see how bad this is going to be jumping me up. 65, 67, 70, 77, 79, 82, 84, 87. It hit 87%, and that's as hot as it got. All right. Well, that was cool. Man, that looked really awesome in a nebula. All right. Galaxy map now. How far from Sagittarius A am I? Plotting. Oh man, it takes a minute to plot a route there.
5, 6, 7,000, something like that.
92 jumps.
And how many light years?
6,000 or 5,981.11.
There you go. That was a pretty good guess then.
Yeah, it
Just
was.
by visually, yeah. I said about 6 to 7,000. Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. All right, is 90? Yeah, 90 jumps is worth getting over there. That's worth it. Oh, this place was so cool. I got some really good screenshots out of that. Those are Reddit worthy.
Yeah, great. That's like I say, you could have jumped to Maya to see one, just a few jumps away in the, in the DBX, but that does look so much better.
It
Mind
was
you, Maya is in a nebula, the Pleiades nebula, but it's not a very thick nebula. It's very pale. It's very, it's not so obvious that you're actually in a nebula at that place. And obviously the extra star density as well. Yeah, that looked amazing. Yeah, that was really, really nice.
And that's where I think that picking up these missions to find the really cool spots like that is a really good idea. Because if you're going to go explore and see cool stuff, most of the time these guys will be paying, they don't pay money to go see something boring. Like I saw those clockwork rings, which is 2 rings that were real close to each other. That was gorgeous to look at. This was just an absolute treat to go see.
Going to Sajay?
Yeah, why not? It's only 90.
Yeah.
It's only 90 jumps out there.
Sure.
When am I going to be 100? When am I going to be under 100 jumps from Sag again?
You just say I mean, it's like I said. It's not. I've never done it, so it's something you can say you've done. You've been there.
The only time I might do this again is if I ever ended up buying a fleet carrier and I end up flying a fleet carrier and doing a bunch of jumps and going on the other side of Sag, because I think that'd be kind of fun to do.
Sure. Yeah. No, if I had a fleet carrier and we're talking about, doing a little expedition or something like that, I would pick an area, where not many people go. I'd try to find, part of the what is it? The Formaldehyde Rift. That's the difficult area to get to.
I'll go. Yeah.
It's a part of the galaxy where the star density is so low that it's hard to navigate through, or it was until fleet carriers came along. Fleet carriers have obviously opened up areas now that, before people found really difficult to navigate their way through.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. That's like once I do end up getting a fleet carrier, that's going to open up a whole other groups of stuff for exploration. That'd be kind of fun. There's a exploration group, and what they'll do is they'll take a fleet carrier out and they'll kind of like map out a whole chunks of areas of stars and stuff. And they do it as kind of a group and together and stuff. And then they all gather back up the carrier and jump to a new area and then go do the same thing again. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take my time once I get out to Sagittarius. I'm gonna take my time coming back and scanning stuff and just going ham on all the cool stuff you could do with scanning. Or a lot of it. I don't know if I'm gonna do a lot of going down to the surface and scanning stuff, but I mean, I guess I could do that and get a bunch of xenobiology as well.
System scan complete.
I do have a xenoscanner on my ship. I don't know what that's 100% for, though.
That's for that's for Fargoids. I,
Oh, you clicked off. That was weird. Well,
sorry,
hello there, Gloria.
got a quick voice message from my son here. So what was I going to say? I was talking about the Xeno scanner. It's something to do with scanning Fargoids. It's it allows you to get data from them or something. I think it's something like that. Yeah, it's Thargoid related, not to do with exploration. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Gloria, it's a good thing that this is a game that's rooted in fantasy,
vulnerable spots
and it's for enjoyment.
On the Fargoid ships actually show up on your scanners, so you can target them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, without a Xeno scanner, I think, from what I remember, it's been a long time since I did any my very limited amount of Fargoid of play. But yeah, if I remember rightly, if you don't have a Xeno scanner, then you can still shoot these things, but you can't target them. So obviously, it becomes much harder to hit.
Yeah.
Whereas with a Xeno scanner, you can at least lock your weapons on to the sensitive parts of the Thargoids.
Fuel scooping. System
Streaming brings the most interesting of individuals out sometimes.
fuel scooping complete.
Person just threw out in my chat, rockets can't propulse through a 10-torr vacuum. Space travel is a hoax predicted on incredulous presumptions. Okay, good for you.
Drive charging.
It's a good thing I'm playing a fantasy-based game that has no premise in reality whatsoever for you to come and tell me that?
Ready to engage.
Must be a blast at parties. Oh. How long you been watching, Hills? Did you see the gorgeous black hole inside the nebula that I found? Or not that I found, that I was sent to? Like I did any work other than flying out here for it.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fuel scooping complete.
Before I get off tonight, I'll have to send you the... Actually... Try this real quick. Yeah, I saw that. This and this. Jitterbug phone. And then... All right, here you go, Hills. Check Telegram. I just sent you the stuff.
Frameshift drive
Yeah, it's so cool.
Fuel scooping.
It's visuals like that I think I'm taking these long distance missions more often. You can see some really cool stuff. I'll have to find a Harry Potter stream so I can tell him sorcery is bullshit. Oh, that's good. So now I'm on my way to a supermassive black hole. We went from a tiny black hole heading toward a supermassive one. This should be an interesting dynamic difference. All right.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so where am I at now? 82. Not bad. I don't think I'm making it Sagittarius tonight on stream, though, unfortunately. Now I'm thinking about it, I still gotta take trash out tonight before I get to go to bed. Oh, hey, Shua? Your, throw the stuff from the washer in the dryer. Because that's your stuff and my jackets. It's everything except for that pillow. Because it was going to throw the balance off. I'll do that tomorrow.
Fuel scooping.
All right.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
What's this? There we go.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Make the giant push to get all the way out here, and then it'll take me a week to get home.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got yourself it's not the getting there that's the trouble, it's the getting back. you realise you're not even halfway.
Yeah, well, I'm also going to be stopping and scanning a lot more on the way back. So it's going to obviously take a lot longer to get back.
Yeah.
But just for those screenshots alone, that was worth it. Oh my
Yeah, it
goodness.
was great, man. Yeah, like that really did look good, must admit.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, I don't know if you heard me, I was like, this is, I think I'm going to be taking more of those types of missions just to see some more really cool, unique stuff, because most of those missions go to very unique places. Actually, you know what? Let's see what this place... Water world? There is a water world in this one, huh? Seven. So how far are you? Oh, that's not far at all. That's not very far at all. We'll go full scan on another water world. How's that sound? Another million.
How many million have you made through exploration at the moment, up until now?
Give me a second and I will let you know. I'm pretty close to this, so I'm gonna get a little bit closer and then I'll open my codec and find out.
Yep. Thinking I was going to check. Yeah, it's 320 million for elite in data.
320? I should be fairly close.
Right.
Let's see here.
But obviously, nothing that you've collected on this trip counts until you
right.
hand it in.
Stats, exploration, 73 million.
Yeah, you've still got quite a way to go, but you'll be able to, I don't know if you'll get to elite, but you'll certainly add probably a couple of 100 million. Obviously, it depends on how willing you are to stop and scan.
Yeah, I'm going to be stopping and scanning a lot more going back.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, that's the figure, 320. What's your rank at the moment? Ranger?
Pioneer.
Are you a ranger? Pioneer?
Yeah, I am a third of the way through Pioneer.
That's strange, because Pioneer is, according to this anyway, is from 116 million. Maybe this isn't right after all. It's what I've got here on the Elite Wiki. Pioneer from 116 million to 320, obviously when you get Elite. So that would tell me that you should be an awful lot further along than... how much did you say? How much did you say you'd got? 70 something or 90 something? What was it?
I thought it said 73 million. But I don't know if it counts how much I've made from doing the passenger missions that count toward.
Maybe there's maybe there's another another way of ranking it. Maybe that's just pure exploration data, but maybe, as you say, some of these passenger missions count as exploration as well. So
I'll have to.
That's why you're further along. Yeah.
Let me finish mapping this thing up real quick, and then I will see
Okay, no, yeah, no, it don't matter. I'm just trying to gather some idea of, you know, how close you were likely to be to completing Elite. I mean, if you're a third of the way through Pioneer, that would suggest to me that you're equivalent of close to, say, 200 million out of 320.
All right. Stats. Hang on. So for exploration, I'm at 73 million. And passengers, it doesn't give me a number of money that I've gotten from passengers.
Right. Yeah.
So passengers, the passenger missions that I take count toward exploration.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's probably why then. Yeah, that's probably why. Because, yeah, according to probably on pure exploration data, it's 116 million from Pioneer. But you're well under that with the amount, but you're well over that with the actual rank.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think it has to do with those passenger missions, and it just doesn't count in that particular thing. Doesn't count toward that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do?
You'll get pretty good. Certainly boost you up a bit.
Yeah, this will... It'll be a nice little boost. Because the 41 or the 43 or however much million I make from the guy itself won't count toward that exploration on my codec, but it'll count toward my exploration rank. Which is a weird thing, but I don't know. It's... Because I know that it used to count toward trade, but then they kind of changed it to where if they're sightseeing missions, they count toward exploration. If they're just a go and drop off or whatever, then they count toward trade, I guess. So, because all the Rubigo runs are all sightseeing missions, then it all counts toward exploration.
Exploration, yeah. Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna go and see if I can grab something proper to eat. All right.
All right, sounds good.
With your exploration, let me know how you get on. Whether or not you by next Tuesday, you'll probably still be halfway.
No, I'll be home by next Tuesday, I'm sure.
Fair enough. Okay, man. Okay, take it easy.
All right, you too, man. You have a good night.
Take care. Good night.
All right.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, you're here just out of the house. Oh, okay. Yeah, you missed the original. I'm now running on I'm on my way to Sagittarius, which is the supermassive at the center of the galaxy, before I start heading home. And so I'm still speeding out toward there.
Fuel scoping.
I don't know if I'm going to make it there tonight on stream, because I got 45 minutes left on stream and 77 jumps to go. But I will be taking lots of snapshots, and then I'll probably, once I get there, I'll go ahead and fire up OBS and record it locally so I can show you. Because the middle is going to be kind of crazily fun and nice looking. Yeah, that math test does not work out. I didn't know how far it was going to be from that other place, and I wanted to spend the time there to get to see it, and because that micro black hole inside the nebula, oh my god, was that gorgeous. I got a few more screenshots I'll share with you too. I could, but that means I don't play for a week, and I want to play. Once I do end up getting a fleet carrier, one of my first things we'll do is we'll jump down into Sagittarius. We'll load it up with some ships and we'll go fly out to Sagittarius. Because I'm still planning on getting a fleet carrier. I am not sacrificing all this data. No way, no how. I've got a ton of data plus the 41 million for my passenger. I kill the passenger, I lose that contract. No way, no how am I doing that. I'll fly back out to Sag again at some point. I've made a bunch of first discoveries out here. I'm not sacrificing all first discoveries for that. Nope. I wish there was a way I could look to see, although apparently there's a bunch of fleet carriers at Sagittarius. So when I do end up making it there, I can go dock and sell it all and find out how much I made on the trip out here without FSSing or even DSS anything. So for me, that was the thing I was thinking of, is the money time invested and trade. For me, I'm not doing it for necessarily the money side. It's, and this is, I had said this, I saw Glass this too. It's, I've taken 2 of these missions, these passenger missions, to go out to long places. The first one I went to was those clockwork rings, which were absolutely gorgeous. And then this one was a micro black hole inside of a fucking bright blue nebula. It is the money that counts toward Elite. Yeah, that is the money that counts, but I can pop that in the road to riches or whatever pretty quickly. I mean, I'm probably going to end up, between the mission and this stuff, I'll probably be close to 80 to 100 million.
Scan complete.
Don't be a min-maxer. No, I probably won't. I'll just go back to doing what I was doing before and frickin' doing Rubigo missions. Jump between Rubigo mines and fucking Rubigo mines and Cirrus to get that elite. But no, taking up these passenger missions, I've done 2 long distance passenger missions now, and they take you to some gorgeous places because they're interesting places that they want to go see. And I already got my elite in trade, which is what I was pushing for, to get elite in something to get into Shinrata. Already there now, so now it's just doing this for the for going and seeing cool shit. And also, oh yeah, did you see what happens to the paint job? Check this out. So, as you go on these long missions, your paint starts to fleck off. And so you get these really cool visuals with the paint coming off the hull and stuff like that. And it just looks so cool. Okay, so you did see it from the okay, cool. It's just, to me, that's one of the coolest parts of this is the paint flecking off. And so when I get back into stations and stuff, instead of doing repair all, you can go into the advanced area and you can repair everything except for paint jobs. Yeah, I'm not planning on fixing it. I'm definitely not planning on fixing that. That's I want to keep that. I accidentally fixed it the last time I took a long mission, and I've been kicking myself ever since. But no, I'm planning on keeping this thing as beat up looking as possible. I just have to keep reminding myself every time I park in somewhere not to click on that to repair anything.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete. Fuel scooping complete.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely get better. Yeah, so I have a little guide up here of what planet types. It's a Reddit post. What planet types are pay out the most? So that's what I've been kind of using. All right, bro. I'm probably gonna do this for another 15 or 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna be getting off too. I think. All right.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay. Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Terraformable rocky bodies, high metal content planets, terraformable and water worlds, Earth-like worlds, ammonia, and regular water worlds. They have the highest payouts.
Fuel scooping.
8 bodies, huh?
Fuel scooping complete.
One. Are there any good ones here? No.
Frameshift drive charging.
I should set up a secondary thing so I can do all that from my mouse. Save some time.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It'll be good.
Fuel scooping.
3 bodies in the system, huh? I did not get it complete. 1, 2. So what's the third one? The gas giant. Where is it? It's right here. That wasn't terrible. All right. Starting to get tired. Okay, now... Nine one. Nope, they're all high metal content worlds. Now when I do this, they're all landable, which is kind of interesting. That's gonna be a full system that'll be 37,000 each. It's fairly quick. How many jumps do I got? 67? Yeah, I'm not doing it, so I'll just start doing my my checks here. It's worth it. At least for the big five. Or, honestly, the big three, because the high metal content, I'm not going to be checking if rocky bodies and high metal content's terraformable. They're worth quite a bit of money, but I have to go through the time to the money. I'm not sure if it would be necessarily worth it. We got 3 bodies here. Alright, I'll check 3 bodies. 1, 2, and 3. We're good. On to the next. Maybe I should just FSS everything. And wait and see if they're terraformable for Rockies and high metal content planets. Well, I'll go through one and see when once it's terraformable and see if it says that if it lists that they're terraformable in or how it lists it in the local system map. 2 bodies? Does that mean 2 suns? Yeah, there's the other sun. Yeah, this is just a 2 sun system, right? Yeah. Yeah, there it is, B. Or a 2-star system, I should say.
Fuel scooping.
18 bodies.
Fuel scooping complete.
Mehitable the Alligator. As I wrote you before, boss, Mehitable is a believer in the Pythagorean theory of the transmigration of the soul. And she claims that formerly her spirit was incarnated.
Oh, this has already been
That was a long
scanned out by somebody.
surprised if Mehitable has
Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just close enough. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bunch of high metal content and rocky Plus asteroids. Rocky body. Non-terraformable. Non-terraformable, it says in that. No atmosphere.
System scan complete.
All right.
Frameshift drive charging.
Interesting. So fully got that one out.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, this could be kind of nice in the end.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
$17 bodies. Anything good? Couple gas giants. Type 3. The Type 3. Type 1. Oh wait, I should have done all this because this is all this here too. Well, shit, Dave. High content middle world. High content middle world. Oh, here's one. Rocky body. Rock your body. High content middle world. And you are high content middle world. Belt clusters. Rocky body. Another rocky body. Where's the last one of these at then? On this line somewhere? Why can't I find these? This is weird. I found everything but one. Alright, let's try this. Let's try flying in this direction a bit and see if I can't find that last body. I don't know where it is. That is very strange to me. There you are.
System scan complete.
That was weird. Alright, whatever.
Drive charging.
It was a very strange one. Alright, I actually think there's a phone call that I'm going to be getting here shortly that I think I need to take. So I think I'm going to be wrapping up the stream for the night, actually. This is all icy bodies and stuff.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Actually, you know what? This will be a good place to leave this off. Alright, guys. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. You guys are absolutely awesome. Love you all. That was a lot of fun. We saw some cool shit. And, yeah, I'll be back Sunday. So that should be fun. That should be good. We shall see you Sunday. Thank you guys once again. And we'll catch you soon. Good night, guys.